Hello and welcome to the History of Marvel. Carol Danvers. Carol Danvers is a fictitious superhero appearing in American comic books published by Marvel Comics, created by writer Roy Thomas and artist Gene Colan. Danvers first appeared as an officer in the United States Air Force and colleague of the Kree superhero Mar-Vell in Marvel Superheroes number 13, March 1968. Danvers later became the first incarnation of Miss Marvel in Miss Marvel number 1, January 1977, after her DNA was fused with Mar-Vell's during an explosion, giving her superhuman powers. Debuting in the Silver Age of comics, the character was featured in a self-titled series in the late 70s before becoming associated with the superhero teams of the Avengers and the X-Men. The character has also been known as Binary, Warbird, and Captain Marvel at various points in her history. She has been labeled Marvel's biggest female hero and quite possibly Marvel's mightiest Avenger. In 2012, Danvers' incarnation of Miss Marvel was the highest-ranked female character on IGN's list of the top 50 Avengers. Danvers has been featured in other Marvel licensed products, including video games, animated television series, and merchandise such as trading cards. On March 8, 2019, Marvel Studios is scheduled to release a live-action film featuring Danvers titled Captain Marvel. Publication history, 1960s. The character debuted in the title Marvel Superheroes as an officer in the United States Air Force and security chief of a restricted military base, where Danvers met Dr. Walter Lawson, the human allies of the alien Kree superhero Captain Mar-Vell. In a later story, Danvers is caught in an explosion of a Kree device after trying to get close to Captain Mar-Vell. Although Captain Mar-Vell manages to save her life, Danvers sustains serious injuries. 1970s. Danvers resurfaces with superhuman abilities and becoming the hero Miss Marvel in a self-titled series in January 1977. In the series, it is revealed that the energy from the explosion of a device called the Psi-Magnetron caused Danvers' genetic structure to meld with Captain Mar-Vell's, effectively turning her into a human-Kree hybrid. Miss Marvel has a series of semi-regular appearances in the Avengers, with additional appearances with the Defenders, Spider-Man, The Thing, and Iron Man. In one of these stories, the mutant terrorist Mystique kills Michael Barnett, Miss Marvel's lover. At the time of the publication of Miss Marvel number 1 in 1977, the title was self-consciously socially progressive for its time. This was reflected in the use of the word MS, or Miss, then associated with the feminist movement, and Danvers fighting for equal pay for equal work in her civilian identity. 1980s. In the Avengers number 200, October 1980, Miss Marvel is kidnapped by a character named Marcus, the apparent son of the Avenger foe Immortus, and taken to an alternate dimension where she is brainwashed, seduced, and impregnated. She gives birth on Earth to a child that rapidly grows into another version of Marcus, who is ultimately unable to remain on Earth after Hawkeye mistakenly damages his machine. He takes Miss Marvel back to an alternate dimension with no opposition from the Avengers, who perceive Miss Marvel and Marcus to have fallen in love. Comic book historian Carol A. Strickland criticized the storyline in an essay titled The Rape of Miss Marvel, citing Marcus's line, "Finally, after relative weeks of such effort, and admittedly with a subtle boost from Immortus machines, you become mine." Strickland posted that this constituted rape. As a former writer of the solo title, Chris Claremont also commented on the inappropriateness of the storyline. Claremont officially undid the Marcus story in Avengers Annual number 10, 1981. In that story, Danvers is revealed to have returned to Earth, courteous of Immortus' technology after Marcus continued to age and die of old age, but is attacked by the mutant Rogue, who permanently absorbs the character's abilities and memories. Danvers' memories are restored by Professor X, and an angry confrontation with the Avengers concerning their failure to realize that Marcus had brainwashed her follows. Claremont continued to develop the character in the title Uncanny X-Men. Danvers enters the Pentagon and, while wiping the government's files on the X-Men, also deletes all records of herself in a symbolic break with her life as Miss Marvel. During an adventure in space with the X-Men, Danvers is changed by courtesy of experimentation by an alien race, the Brood, into a newly empowered character called Binary. Drawing on the power of the cosmic phenomenon called a white hole, Danvers becomes capable of generating the power of a star. As Binary, the character has a number of encounters with the X-Men, the New Mutants, and the British team Excalibur, as well as a solo adventure. Claremont expanded on the incident with the character Rogue by having the Carol Danvers persona manifest itself within Rogue's mind, sometimes overpowering Rogue's personality. This happens to Rogue on several occasions, which results in an uneasy armistice between the personalities within Rogue's mind. After Rogue passes through the ancient supernatural gateway called the Siege Perilous, the Miss Marvel persona is separated from her as an independent entity within the same issue. The Miss Marvel persona is killed by Magneto. 1990s. The character continued to make sporadic appearances, and 2 additional issues planned for the original title, prevented by cancellation, were printed in a quarterly anthology series. The same year, the character was also used extensively in the storyline Operation Galactic Storm. By the conclusion of the story, the character had lost her connection to the white hole she drew her powers from, reverting to the use of the original Miss Marvel powers, but retaining the energy manipulation and absorption powers she had as Binary, albeit on a smaller scale. After several more teams and solo appearances, the character then rejoins the Avengers with the new alias Warbird. Writer Kurt Busiek explored the character by having her develop alcoholism, struggling to come to terms with the loss of her cosmic powers and memories. Danvers disgraces herself during the Live, Kree, or Die storyline, and is soon suspended from active duty. After a brief appearance in Marvel's alternate universe title, What If?, the character was featured in Iron Man, Wolverine, and the Avengers, before making a cameo appearance in Mutant X. 2000s. As Warbird, the character returns to the Avengers and plays a key role in the Kang Dynasty plotline. Kang's son Marcus, the Scarlet Centurion, falls in love with her, but she rejects him in part because he reminds her of Marcus. The Scarlet Centurion, nevertheless, helps her to defeat the Master of the World, a supervillain whose alien technology becomes the key to defeating Kang. In the course of the fight, Warbird kills the Master, and after the final victory over Kang, she demands a court-martial to review her actions. The court-martial finds her killing justified as an act of war, and Carol continues as an Avenger. After the Avengers disband, Warbird leaves the group, and along with the other prominent former Avengers like Wasp, Hank Pym, Falcon, and Wonder Man, is not included in the new Avengers group soon formed by Iron Man and Captain America. The character was then featured as Captain Marvel in a false reality created by the mutant Scarlet Witch in 2005 miniseries House of M. This really pandered to Danvers' subconscious desire to be accepted, as she proved to be the most popular superhero on Earth. Miss Marvel then came to prominence again when the character was launched into a second self-titled volume. Together with fellow Avenger Iron Man, Danvers also becomes a principal advocate of the Superhuman Registration Act during the events of the 2006-2007 Civil War storyline. The story also continues in Miss Marvel's own title, as the character battles the anti-registration heroes led by Captain America. The storyline has major consequences for the new Avengers, which debuts in the 2007 series The Mighty Avengers, with Danvers as a member. Danvers enters into a relationship with fellow member Wonder Man, appears in a crossover series with the Transformers and becomes the leader of the mighty Avengers. The character makes an agreement with Tony Stark, director of S.H.I.E.L.D., to lead a covert strike team called Operation Lightning Storm. Its designated mission being the elimination of supervillains before they become global threats. Miss Marvel is captured by the Brood on Monster Island, whereupon she found the Brood Queen. An intense confrontation ensues, during which Miss Marvel's powers are temporarily disabled, forcing her to fight the Brood Queen as Carol Danvers. At one point, she is stripped of her civilian clothing and was forced to drift through space until she was able to access her powers. Miss Marvel also plays a significant role in the 2008 storyline Secret Invasion, in which members of the shape-shifting alien race, the Skrulls, are revealed to have secretly infiltrated Earth by impersonating humans. She befriends Captain Mar-Vell's Skrull imposter and proves to him that she is not a Skrull by revealing intimate details of their life together. At the conclusion of the war with the Skrulls, Norman Osborn is placed in charge of registered Avengers team. Refusing to serve under Osborn, Miss Marvel flees the Avengers Tower and joins the new Avengers, becoming second in command. Osborn appoints former Thunderbolt member Moonstone, Karla Sofin, as the new Miss Marvel, to his Dark Avengers team. Moonstone wears a variation of Miss Marvel's original costume. Osborn engineers a battle that results in Danvers' powers overloading, causing her apparent death. The character Moonstone takes over the title role in the ongoing Miss Marvel series. Danvers returns with the aid of the new Avengers, a group of MODOK embryos, and a character known as the Storyteller, and reclaims the title of Miss Marvel from Karla Sofin. The increased use of Carol Danvers as a prominent character in many story arcs throughout this decade eventually prompted one commentator to note that she's now the House of Ideas' premier heroine. Thank you for watching the history of Carol Danvers. Have a great day.